To be a good copywriter, you have to be able to identify good copy. The more you write, the more ads you're exposed to, the better you're gonna get at that. Time is definitely your friend when it comes to refining your copy skills. But there are some things you can learn right now that will help train your brain to learn what good copy is when it's sitting in front of you. I have 4 qualifiers that I personally think make good copy. And I'm sure every teacher and copywriting book has their own variation on these words, but I think people can generally agree that these things typically point to good copy. Good copy is clear, intriguing, evocative, and compelling. Let's start with clear. This is the most important on the list because without this, the rest doesn't matter. Good copy is not confusing. The audience understands what the point of it is. You're not trying to communicate too many things in one piece of copy. One important point to caveat is that clear doesn't necessarily have to mean that the copy is super direct and super obvious. You can write something that's clever and might take the audience a few seconds to understand and have it still be clear. Letting your audience connect the dots sometimes can be a really great way to make your copy engaging and memorable. Clear doesn't have to mean boring, and it shouldn't. Clear just means no one's gonna walk away scratching their head trying to figure out what the hell that ad meant. Good copy is also intriguing. This means that when people glance at the ad, instead of just moving on about their business, they get pulled in. Good headlines tease at something more and make you want to keep reading. They open your mind to a new thought. They have elements of surprise, mystery, humor. Anything that makes the reader want to look at the rest of the ad, watch the rest of the commercial, what have you. Good copy is evocative. Evocative means it makes people feel something. It brings images or memories or feelings to mind. It evokes a response. The feeling that the copy gives you can change depending on the brand, the tone of voice, or the specific type of ad. It can make you feel entertained, hopeful, angry, excited. And it's often in those evoked feelings that the brand's personality really comes to life. And the last of our 4 characteristics of good copy, compelling. Compelling copy drives action. Any action. Ad copy can make someone visit a website, buy something, or just simply like the brand more. And compelling copy doesn't necessarily have to be immediate language, like buy today. Sometimes it can be very subtle and indirect. Sometimes compelling copy can just mean that it's so unique and entertaining that it makes people want to go interact with this brand or buy something from them. When you write ads, especially in the agency world, you're gonna have a mix of CTAs or calls to action. These are the things you're asking your audience to do. Typically, big brand awareness campaigns have more subtle, compelling copy, whereas social ads or banner ads can be a lot more directly compelling and say things like buy today. So now we know what things to look for when we're trying to figure out if copy is good or not. Good copy is clear, intriguing, evocative, and compelling. Let's look at a few examples of ads that I think follow these 4 characteristics of good copy. This is an ad from KFC after they had a chicken shortage in the UK. And I'll just read the first bit for you. We're sorry, a chicken restaurant without any chicken. It's not ideal. Huge apologies to our customers, especially those who traveled out of their way to find we were closed. So let's go through our list. Is it clear? Yeah, I know what this ad is about. It's an apology for not having chicken. Is it intriguing? While looking at the headline on the bucket, a brand basically just said, a brand cussing in and of itself is pretty intriguing. But it's also intriguing to see how they're gonna approach an apology after such a big mess up. Is it evocative? I think it's evocative in a few different ways, and I think people might experience different feelings with this ad. Maybe some people found it funny just because of the headline on the bucket. Maybe other people were pretty angry with KFC and found this ad to be calming. And lastly, is it compelling? If we look at the specific CTA or call to action at the bottom of this ad, we see that it says to visit a website for details. And they actually have a cute little URL with the / cross the road. So I'd say it does have pretty directly compelling copy because it's driving people to a website or even the stores themselves once they've got their stock back. But more generally, I think this ad is compelling people to forgive KFC, to give them a second chance, and calm any anger or frustration towards the brand. So we've hit all 4 of our characteristics of good copy on this one, so that's good copy. Here's an ad for Away luggage that they put in the paper for the 4th of July a couple years ago. And I'm just gonna read the whole thing to you because I really like this one. If you want to be a better American, get out of America. People who travel know what it's like to not belong. They're the ones making a choice to be different, taking strange trains, saying wrong things, experiencing the world on someone else's terms. And then they come back. Less afraid of what they don't understand and more empathetic to everything around them. We could use a few more people like that. So this 4th of July, think about leaving home. It's a good way to love a country. So I'm going to start a little out of order here because I think this headline is super intriguing. This is a really ballsy thing to say on Independence Day. So it makes you want to keep reading to see what this is all about. Reading through the body copy makes it very clear what this ad is about. They're telling you that travel can make you a better person. When I first read this, I had an intense yearning to travel. I already had a bit of a travel bug after quarantine, but this ad just made me want to book the next flight out of the country. And earlier I talked about how the evocative part of copy can be where the brand's personality comes to life. And copy like this makes me understand a way's personality and their values and see that it aligns with my own. Now, they don't have a direct call to action here. They're not telling us to buy a specific product or go visit a website. They're really just trying to compel us to travel. And I think it definitely does that. I think it's also compelling people to like the brand and consider them the next time they need a suitcase. Here are some ads for Dragon Noodle Co. restaurant in Vegas. Go ahead and pause the video to look at these and then write in the comments if you think they fit our 4 criteria of good copy and why. As you get more practice with this, you're not going to have to go physically through a checklist every time to see if copy is good or not. You'll just know. You'll have a gut feeling. But if you want to practice to get a little bit better at identifying good copy, do some recon. Start paying attention to the ads around you. Look at billboards, watch commercials instead of skipping through them. Read ads in magazines. Stop scrolling every once in a while on your social feeds and read the ads. Pay close attention to the copy on these ads and mentally go through your 4 criteria checklist. Also remember, you're learning copywriting here, so focus on the copy, the words. It's okay if the visuals of an ad grab your attention, but don't let the visuals determine if the copy is good or not. Try to separate the two in your brain so that you can really analyze the copy itself and decide if it's good or not. And if you think the copy isn't good, maybe it doesn't meet all 4 of the criteria, then try to think through what you would change to make it meet that criteria. As you progress in your copywriting career, you might start to define your own checklist of what makes good copy. And that's great. You'll get to know your own style, you'll learn what works for the specific brands you're working on, and no matter what kind of copy you're writing, you'll be able to tell if it's good or if it sucks. But hopefully you'll have more of the good stuff.